Dr. Janine Krause here with the Recipe Whisperer, and we are in a lovely cabin just outside of Lisle, Washington, to get some inspiration for the website, but also to talk a little bit about planning. Since most of my patients, the big thing that I find with them is that planning to have dinners and lunch set is just such a big issue. And, I guess it just comes from not being taught that as children. I actually wasn't taught that so well by my family either. My mom was kind of the last minute, kind of get in the kitchen and just whip something up kind of gal. My grandma, on the other hand, was always planning. And so perhaps just a little inspiration from my grandma helped me to figure out how to plan. So today we're going to talk about how to sit down, spend some time, just a few minutes. You don't even need to spend hours at this. This is something that should be pretty easy. Planning. So what I've got here is my handy dandy notepad. I am not really in the 21st century in terms of everything on a computer. Yes, I like the computer, but I really do like to have that paper. Why? I don't know. There's just something about writing things down. So what I've done here is I've set out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the one side. And then I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then S here is for snacks. And so what I'm doing is really just kind of brainstorming. What do I want? What's in the fridge right now? What do I feel like? I've been saying to my husband, hey, what do you feel like? And I'll get a little input from him. If you have kids, you should ask them. If you have a golden retriever like me, you can ask him too what he wants. He sometimes will put in a little bit of input. And so nevertheless, I sit down with my guide here and start to brainstorm. First thing, too, to think about is what type of year is it? Like, is it cold out? Is it warm? If you look outside here, we've got a little frost outside, a little bit of snow in the trees, and so it's cold. So warm foods, Chinese-wise, when it's cold outside, help to warm the inside of the body, but also help with digestive qi, that digestive energy, that fire you need to break down your food. The colder it is outside, the colder things you put inside your body, sometimes it just doesn't break down as well. I know raw is a real big trend for a lot of folks, but sometimes you need a little bit of cooked food in there just to help with the digestive system. My personal opinion there, of course. So, going through things here, it's about a week after Thanksgiving now, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, I do have some turkey that I put in the freezer, so turkey stew is always a good thing to have at this point. I also made a turkey soup last week, and so that bone broth from the turkey is in my freezer. So, okay, put that together. Then I think about, do I have any vegetables? And do I have any frozen ones? So, with every single meal, what I'm wanting to do is have a little bit of protein, about 4 ounces, pretty much what fits in the size of your palm, and about the thickness, more or less, of that palm. That's protein. Then carbohydrate, that would be things like vegetables, could be a little fruit. Then you could go down the lines of things like sweet potatoes or whole grains. Now you notice I'm not talking about breads and crackers. Why? Those are processed. Yeah, you can get gluten-free ones, but technically the gluten-free ones aren't really any better than the regular old gluten version things. Because why? You've got lots of carbohydrates in there that are still processed. And those tend to have a lot more of corn and potato, which are really hard on your digestive system. So nevertheless, I'm sitting here going, okay, I need to make sure each meal has protein, a little bit of carbohydrate, a half cup cooked of a grain is great, a cup to 2 cups of veggies per plate is excellent. Then we need a little bit of good fat. So somewhere around about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of good fat per serving. If we're looking at avocado, it could be a quarter of an avocado. Or, of course, if we're making protein, we also need things that are made out of oil. And so, technically, you're going to put that oil into the frying pan, heat it up, medium heat if you're using olive oil, then you're going to put your protein in there. Or if you're making a stew and you're using a crock pot, that's your other version. So nevertheless, you have your main components of a meal. You need protein, so about 4 ounces, palm size, with a good about size of your palm. Also, you need carbohydrate, so perhaps you're going to have a veggie that's going to be your carbohydrate. You might have some fruit. Fruit is a half a cup. Veggies, 1 to 2 cups. And then if you're going to do a grain, that is going to be a half cup per serving. Now then, you also need your good fat, anywhere from a teaspoon to cook with of the oil, all the way up to 2 tablespoons for a dressing or something of that nature, or a sauce. Or if you're doing something like an avocado, that's a quarter of an avocado. All right, so those are your main components for your meal. Now you have to think through, okay, what do I want? So because it was cold out, I was thinking stews and things of that nature are really great. So I wrote down stews. I also wrote down certain types of veggies and the styles of the veggies. Sautés, Brussels sprouts, I love them roasted. I also like sweet potatoes, parsnips, those kind of root vegetables roasted this time of year. And so I'm writing all that in. Now, of course, I want to take into account flavors. things like barbecue, things like Mexican spice, or things like an Asian style, or even things more like a French style with a little sage or thyme. And so you can also note that down in terms of what flavors you like. So you take all that into account, maybe grab some cookbooks, grab your favorite websites like food52.com, one of my favorite websites, allrecipes.com, also another great recipe site for inspiration. Epicurious, also great. The reason I like Epicurious and all of those websites I just gave you out there is because they have ratings and reviews on the meals, and so it gives you a good idea of what people like. You definitely want to look at that first, because you could get a recipe off of anywhere, and if you don't have ratings, you have no idea what you're getting into. Of course, my recipe, getting a little bit of Elmer Fudd there, my recipe website, of course, recipewhisperer.com, also has a lot of great recipes. I have pretty much pulled most of those from those favorite websites and just tweaked them to different allergy concerns. So, nevertheless, I've just given you the basics on how to plan out your foods. Stay tuned for future episodes in terms of where to go from once you've got it on paper to actually getting all the ingredients and going shopping and getting in the kitchen and cooking all that up. I'm Janine Krause. This is RecipeWhisperer.com. Hey Bear, I'm putting a list together for the week. Do you want to tell me what you want to eat? Do you want peanut butter cookies? Yeah, you want peanut butter treats? Okay. What about some beef broth? Do you want beef broth? Do you want that? Or chicken? Chicken? Do you want some chicken? Tell me if you want chicken. Shake my hand if you want chicken. Yeah? Okay. What else do you want? Oh my goodness, you're so excited. Do you want some, chicken? Okay, so we're going to have chicken. Do you want beef? What about bison? Bison, oh my goodness. Okay, sit. He's so excited. So bison, okay, bison it is. We are going to get you some bison. All right, do you want anything else? Any last requests? So peanut butter treats, right? And some chicken. Okay, chicken and bison. He's out of here. Yep, we got it planned for the week. He's done.